Hello and welcome to Turnpike Sports. I am Dave Weishuttle, and as always, I am joined by my co-host and producer, Doug Weishuttle. Doug, what a great betting week it was.
Not for me.
Not for you, no. Well, I think we'll talk about it in the pick segment, but 3-1. Nice.
I went 1 and 3. And,
freaking Chargers. Thank you, Chargers.
I have been having such a rough week. Besides that division playoff weekend that just basically kicked my ass.
Okay.
I got to see Captain Bug Eyes introduced by the New York Jets as
the
new head coach.
Yeah. You're a New York Jets fan. What did you think of the press conference? What's going on with that guy's eyes?
I don't know. According to everything I'm reading, he never had that situation down in Miami before he came over here because...
I'm not questioning his ability as a coach.
I am.
Much like the New York Jets fan base, but no, that was a strange press conference.
It was short. Which probably was mercifully short.
Yeah, I think it was short for a reason. So apparently, from what I hear, he was good one-on-one with the press afterwards. I guess they had a meet and greet, and I think he did better there. But he was destroyed in social media.
Everything I'm reading, he killed it in the meetings with the ownership for the hire.
Sure,
which is what got him the job. McCarthy wanted his own staff. He didn't want the Jets interfering. Same thing with Rule. And
well, I guess the big determining factor was your brand new franchise quarterback, Darnold, who had a face-to-face with him. When they say face-to-face, I'm assuming they mean Skype. Is that
FaceTime.
Okay, yeah. Skype or whatever.
Yeah, but it wasn't that franchise quarterback that sealed the deal. It was Peyton Manning making a call. He made the call that got him hired in Miami, too. Yeah, you saw how that worked out.
That's a strange relationship. I know he was his coach, but it was his coach later on in life when he was an established, great Hall of Fame quarterback. So he must have really made an impression on Peyton. So,
he was his coach 3 years. He was a quarterback's coach in Denver with him. Well, then he was the offensive coordinator in Denver, and he had 3 really good years after that neck injury, which is why everyone thinks he's such a quarterback whisperer. He did the same thing with Cutler when he was in Chicago.
But let's be honest.
Or Miami, I should say.
If Darnold said no, I don't think he would have gotten the job.
I think
Darnold was the cherry on top of everything.
I think Darnold's opinion didn't matter. It was McCagnon trying to save his job because he wants control of the personnel. He wants control of the players, the picks. He wants control of the coaching jobs. And quite honestly, I have lost complete faith in McCagnon.
Like I said, it was a great betting weekend, and I'm excited for the interview I'm doing later on. I'm talking with Luisa Woods, who is Vice President of Marketing for Delaware North Gaming Division, and they're doing amazing things in West Virginia. They opened up 2 brick-and-mortar sportsbooks at the Wheeling Island Casino and the Mardi Gras Casino in Charleston, and they also opened up West Virginia's first sports betting app called BetLucky.com, and she's going to tell us all about it.
Yeah, they're doing great things down there.
Amazing stuff in West Virginia, and like I said, it's been a busy week in the sports world, so let's take a ride on the Turnpike. And today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $15 off your first order of $30 or more when using promo code DRINK15 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
All right, we're going to start off the sports betting update exit with 2 really big stories that happened very recently, as a matter of fact. First one was the Department of Justice issuing a brand new opinion on the Wire Act, which has everybody in the gaming industry up in arms, because it was basically a reversal of what they said back in 2011.
Yeah, in 2011, the DOJ issued an opinion saying that the Wire Act only applied to online sports betting and sports betting in general, but now they have the new opinion saying, no, the Wire Act applies to all online gambling.
Well, we're assuming that's what it said. You're going to have to go to court to figure this out.
It's very confusing. I mean, I think a lot of lawyers are looking at the grammar of it. Where a comma is placed in a legal opinion is very important. I think that's going to have to be worked out. But I think, number one, they reversed what they said. And number two, not a lot of people know what this means yet. So it's very confusing.
No, but on first read, it looks like really the opinion affects only interstate online gambling and the interstate lotteries.
When we say interstate,
between
it means
states.
Between states. For example, in 2018, WSOP.com and 888 Poker made in Nevada and New Jersey
and
Delaware, they made a pact or a compact, which they're calling it, that they will share their online poker player pools. That's interstate. So I think if the Wire Act, according to the new opinion of the DOJ, that's what this could affect, the compact between states, but not sure within the state.
No, but right now the initial reading is what's not affected is sports betting, fantasy sports, and intrastate gambling, as long as there are appropriate safeguards.
Yeah, so, I think if within the state borders, I think it becomes tricky, like you said, with the lottery, and it especially becomes tricky with the daily fantasy sports providers because they're interstate. They have in different states. They transfer money over different states. So it should be interesting how that affects them.
The one question I have, and it's just a weird question that popped in my head. What about like in New Jersey where we have Pennsylvania casinos having New Jersey sports books? Or New Jersey online casinos. Well, that's technically interstate.
Yeah, technically. I mean, I think what you're talking about is Sugar House. I mean, Play Sugar House has a license in New Jersey, but Sugar House itself is in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, to be specific. Yeah. So that's interstate. So I'd be curious to see how that works out.
Well, you also have FanDuel. They have a sports book over in Pennsylvania. They have a sports book in New Jersey.
Sure.
So I don't know if they qualify as interstate. You know, same thing with DraftKings with West Virginia now and New Jersey. So, you know, it really everything's going to be determined.
It's just a confusing.
It's a mess.
It's a mess right now. So I think there's going to have to be a court battle to have everything sorted out and everything figured out and everything interpreted.
So is this going to be Murphy Part 2 in court?
I don't know. I can't believe Murphy gets the press for this. I mean, it was Chris Christie who actually brought everything to court.
Yep. Well, he had to leave office.
Let's be honest. In New Jersey anyway, the actual politician, what's his name, from North Jersey?
Lesniak.
Ray Lesniak. He's the one who was spearheading everything. He was a state senator, and he was the one really leading the charge. And I guess, hey, Chris Christie was along for the ride, and I think Ray is the one who's the one everyone should give props to, because he is the fighter in New Jersey who brought this to court.
Well, he may be back in court. So.
Get ready, Ray.
Yeah. Speaking of fiascos and messes.
Oh, what a mess.
The DraftKings National Championship of Sports Betting was held this past weekend in North Jersey, and it ended in a mess.
Yeah, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Supposedly, the last day, people were supposed to be betting on the two football games.
Sure.
Only.
Okay.
To determine the winner. And the first game...
I didn't know if that was the only, but I guess they had to bet on the two.
That was it.
Yeah, so.
And it's the first game went further along than they thought time-wise, I guess. And they didn't process the bet winnings quick enough for some of these people to have their bets placed on the final game.
I think the problem is some people had it processed.
Some did.
To bet on the final game.
That's why I said some.
Other people didn't have it. So
especially the leader.
The leader was denied betting in
Rufus
the final
Peabody.
game. Rufus Peabody,
does great work in sports betting.
He does a podcast,
yes.
too, a very good podcast.
Yeah.
I forgot, Bet the Process
I think that's what it is.
Betting the Process.
Plus, he's got his own sports betting analytics company, all that stuff. And he's a great guy and smart as hell. But he was one of the guys who couldn't bet on the final game. He lost out because of that. So, it's New Jersey's now investigating.
Yeah,
what's happening.
I think the Department of Gaming Regulators, or I don't know, what's the proper name for that?
Division of Gaming Enforcement.
Division of Gaming Enforcement are looking into it now, so it should be interesting to see how that works. I mean, I can't believe they didn't have contingencies in place for that. I mean, the game went long, but how about if the game went to overtime? What was going to happen there?
Well, if the game went to overtime, that'd be different because the NFL would have pushed back the other game.
Would they have?
Yeah, they
really?
Would. Yeah, they would have.
But still, there would have been a processing problem.
Exactly. But
I've heard,
we'll see what happens.
I'm curious to see how they're going to change this. I've read some places where different sports betting tournaments, I guess in Europe, they had a situation where if these it's considered, if you won your bet, it's considered won, or you're considered processed for the second game. But if it doesn't work out in the first game, then it's a no bet.
You mean in terms of parlays, or are you talking about individual bets?
It's one of those things. Say if the game was running long, it's in Europe, the game is running, a soccer match is running long, and you have a bet on there. It's part of the contest. They would say, place your bet on the second game as if you had won. And if you had won, the money applies. If you didn't win, then it'd be a non-bet. It'd be considered a non-bet.
Well, that's also probably where the cash-out option could have came in handy there, too.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't see that. This is a sports betting.
I know, but the game was 48-14.
I know.
Or 48-28, and it was like two touchdowns scored late by the Chargers.
They could. They
could have called it by 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, maybe, and they could have just started processing the bets there. But we'll see what happens. It just feels like the old WWF with this thing, where you can't hand out a title belt without a controversy.
Sure.
It's like somebody came in from the other side of the ring and knocked the guy out, and the competitor just jumped on him and got the pin. That's what it feels like to me. It's almost that kind of stage kind of thing. But it's we'll see what happens.
I'm curious to see how the fallout. I mean,
it's great publicity again.
Is it great publicity? Is there a trust issue with DraftKings now? Or
has there ever been a trust issue with DraftKings? There's always trust issues with all these things.
Well, sports betting is so brand new in New Jersey, and who knows? But I think I'm sure their competitors are going to point to this. And
I will bet you they're going to have maybe twice or three times as many for next year's sports betting championship.
Probably.
Because of all this.
Well, look, I mean, they're going to have to change some rules. They're going to have to change the procedure. They're going to have to do some things.
Or they're going to have to have a gaming enforcement official there to make rulings.
I don't know. Maybe they could have. Maybe they did.
I don't know if they did.
I don't even know. So,
Well, we'll see how that turns out. New Jersey sports betting numbers are in, too, for December.
Now the good news.
Yeah. Overall, New Jersey, for the first 6 months in existence, they racked up over $1.2 billion in sports betting.
That's amazing.
That's an incredible number for 6 months.
Yep.
Unfortunately, what they're pointing at is the December number for New Jersey sports betting overall was down a little bit from November. Mm-hmm. But considering December is really a slow month for sports betting, even coming close to what November was, I think that was actually a good showing by everything.
Well, look, I think, first off, over $1.2 billion is an amazing number. Secondly, there's going to be some lulls, January and February, there's going to be huge betting.
Well, from what I'm reading, December is a slow month.
What?
From what I've been reading, December is the slow month.
Oh,
for
sure.
Sports
Yeah,
betting,
no, sure.
So.
There's other things to do. Yeah. There's the holidays and things like that. But look, I mean, January's with NFL playoffs. You got February with the Super Bowl. You have in college basketball starting up. Then you have March with the March Madness. I think 2019, betting wise, is going to be enormous for New Jersey.
Yeah, and
did you like? I was choking up. I was so excited about the betting numbers of New Jersey.
It got you.
I'm all verklempt.
Yes. The top winners, retail. I was surprised at this, but FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands was the top retailer.
For the brick and mortar?
Yeah, for brick and mortar, top retail.
Oh, FanDuel, that's location. For people who don't know, they are right at the Meadowlands. I mean, you look out the window, you're looking at the stadium.
Yep, and online, DraftKings was number one.
Of course.
And FanDuel Sportsbook and PointsBet, their combination now.
Okay.
They were number two. Yeah, they came in close. I think.
Truth be told, I have the FanDuel app, which I am very pleased with. So, they're very good. I have to check out. I heard DraftKings are great. They have been number one, I think, since they opened their app. What do they call it? Drop an app, or what are the kids calling it nowadays?
They released
the app. I guess that's what it's called.
Technical term.
Releasing the app.
And rounding out the online sports books, we have DraftKings number one, FanDuel Sportsbook, PointsBet number two.
This is online, right?
This is online. Monmouth Park, William Hill, Sugar House, all together, 1.3. Ocean Resort, William Hill, and then Caesars Sportsbook and 888 comes up after that, and then Play, MGM, Borgata were in last place for online.
Am I looking at those numbers right? They're
lost?
Negative.
Yes, they lost
money.
Yes, they lost money.
All right.
And retail, just brick and mortar ones, FanDuel, Sportsbook, and Meadowlands topped it. Then you have Monmouth Park, then Ocean Resort, and then Tropicana came in last place.
I have yet to check out Tropicana.
That's the only one we haven't seen yet.
But let me tell you, we're going to be in Atlantic City pretty soon, so I'm going to make a point of it, checking out the Tropicana. I just have to find it. Someone told me it's if you go where the restaurant district is in the Tropicana,
it's in
called
the
Quarter.
Yeah, it's near the Quarter.
It's very near the Quarter.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, no, I'm going to check it out.
Another William Hill Sportsbook, too.
Is it? You know what? You can't go wrong with William Hill.
It's the infrastructure.
It is so good. Yeah. William Hill is so good. We last time we were in Atlantic City, we went to the Ocean Resort Sportsbooks, and they're William Hill. And I think
threw some video up of it up onto the Facebook page as well.
Let me tell you something. I know we have sponsors for the other sportsbooks and things like that, but I think Ocean Resort is absolutely beautiful and absolutely amazing. If you're looking for a Las Vegas-style sportsbook in New Jersey,
with new owners now.
With apparently new owners. 6 months in, they had to change the owners. That's weird.
They didn't change them.
Dyfik
took a minority stake, and $70 million more dollars came in.
Yeah, no, they're investing $70 million into it. Hopefully in the sports book. I don't know what more they can do because I think it's the perfect sports book.
It's got to go into operating expenses.
I love the sports book in Ocean Resort.
And speaking of William Hill, they settled their lawsuit against FanDuel for copyright infringement.
That's hilarious.
I can't believe this.
Give us an update on that. I mean, it was a handbook on how to bet.
It was a betting guide.
It was a betting guide. I mean, everything's new in New Jersey, so the sports books gave out betting guides. What's a parlay, what's a teaser, and things like that. FanDuel
handed out a betting guide and barely did any effort into it. Looks like they actually supposedly copied William Hill, and the only reason William Hill knew they copied it was because William Hill appeared in the sports book, in the sports betting guide.
Allegedly, it was copied to such a degree.
It was lazy.
That the name William Hill allegedly showed up in the FanDuel betting guide.
According to this,
I'm using allegedly a lot because I didn't.
Not just the text.
Uh-huh.
William Hill also claimed in the suit that the guide contained diagrams that they made.
Okay.
Odd possibilities which appeared identical to the images that William Hill had in their betting guide.
Okay.
So it was settled.
Yeah.
Sums undisclosed as usual. And I like what William Hill said they were going to do. They're going to put some of this money into creative writing courses.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
A little dig at FanDuel. Truth be told, now we went to the opening of the FanDuel Sports.
I didn't look at the betting guide.
We went to the opening of the FanDuel Sportsbook in the Meadowlands, and they were handing out like T-shirts and pens and this and that and the other thing, and they also handed out the betting guide. I guess it was the betting guide at issue in this lawsuit. I have yet to look at this betting guide, and I'm dying to look at it to see if William Hill's name appears in it.
I think they took them off and changed them. So,
well, not the ones we got the first day.
I didn't pick up a betting guide.
Oh, I did. I picked up everything. It's.
I picked up the betting sheets. I picked up all that other stuff. I didn't even bother with the betting guide. I didn't even think about it.
I'm going to check it out. A little bit of New Jersey history. I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let me know what that's worth, people.
Probably nothing. Actually, ask William Hill what it was
worth. Give
the
email out and let them tell me what it's worth. With info at
turnpikesportsradio.com.
Yes, please tell me. So I should put it on eBay or something like that.
Exit 2.
All right, we're going to stay in this next exit with a sports betting related story because it's not really sports betting, but it has a lot to do with what the future of this stuff is going to be. The NHL is going to be making player tracking a permanent feature in their games. They just did a test with the Vegas Golden Knights home games against the Rangers and the Sharks. They did 2 tests on this.
Okay.
Basically, they had pucks and shoulder pads filled with microchips, and the antenna was and they had an antenna broadcasting data on the puck speed, trajectory, all that stuff to representatives from sports betting companies, teams, tech firms, and other media outlets in suites around the stadium as they were playing the game. And this is information that's key to some of these sports betting deals we're seeing that the NHL is doing because they're sharing data.
So when we say there's an agreement between a league and a sports bet operator and data is one of the things that's exchanged, This is what we're talking about?
This is what we're talking about. This is going to start being happening because it was a successful test.
So are we talking about high-tech prop bets they're hoping for? Is this what it's leading to? Or the speed of the puck? Or what is
Well, that's not high-tech.
Well,
it's high-tech in getting the speed.
Well, getting the speed. I mean, it's just I'm trying to figure out how sports bettors can use this. I mean, what bets can be placed? I mean, you know the assist, you know who scored the goal, you know what's going on. Or,
think about it this way. If you know the speed of the player, you know the speed of the puck, you can actually start looking at breakaway goals, who's going to get it.
Okay, so it
translates to other things.
Okay, this goes more to the analysis in order to make a proper bet.
Yep, or a prop bet,
not the actual bet itself.
Okay. Yeah. Right. No, this is all stats and information, and
this is how bad a sports bettor I am. I mean, I was like thinking, why do I need this information? But apparently
everyone does.
The professional sports bettors would like this information. They would like they'd put it in their computers. They put it in their analytics. And
think about this
like
question.
That, so.
You might see, what the Wizards did on their alternate broadcast for basketball. They had a little thing there at the bottom. You might see a question: Will this shot go above or under 110 miles an hour?
Okay, all right.
You can see stuff like that.
I can see stuff like that, but I wonder how that came over the Wizards. We had that story last week.
They had 40% viewers watch that.
40% of the usual viewers watched
it on NBC Sports Washington Plus. 40% watched the alternate broadcast.
Okay. All right. Well, hey.
No word on how many bets were placed, but they had 40% viewership on that alternate broadcast.
Well, they're not. Are they betting yet in Maryland and Washington?
I don't know. Well, it was a contest, so they could actually do it.
Okay, that's right. It was a contest. It was I guess it was a
$500
predictive contest,
predictive game.
Yeah, predictive games.
And just to put a bow on this one, they're going to use the tracking system for the All-Star Weekend games on January 25th and 26th in San Jose.
Okay.
NBC is going to be broadcasting in the United States. Rogers is going to be doing it in Canada, and both are going to be able to use the data.
I remember the last big technology viewing enhancement they had for hockey was, I guess the puck was highlighted and they had the line when someone hit it, the line of the puck going right into the goal.
Yeah, the puck tracker.
Puck tracker. Yeah, that was the last big.
Well, no, they just had another innovation. Okay. I don't know if it's technology or whatever, but they had the puck changing color, so they knew when it melted the ice off it, so they could replace the puck. They just did that not too long ago in one of the games.
Okay,
actually in the Winter Classic.
Did they have to do it for the Winter Classic because it was outdoors and they didn't have control of
No, they were
environment?
just testing new stuff.
Oh, they were testing it.
Yeah, so.
Exit 3.
Last year during the Super Bowl, I didn't see a Skittles ad. And again, this year you're not going to see one because they're doing a Super Bowl ad that's not a Super Bowl ad.
Okay. So I'm not going to see it on TV?
No, you're not going to see it on TV.
Okay.
Skittles is going to be doing, and let me get the title right, Skittles commercial, the Broadway musical. They're going to rent out the town hall for one night on February 3rd, one show only, and they're going to be doing this in front of a live audience. It's going to be basically a musical commercial. 17 cast members.
Is this during the Super Bowl?
This is during the Super Bowl.
So will the live audience be able to see the Super Bowl?
No. Oh, well, I don't know about this. I don't think they're going to be showing the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But this is a one-show-only thing in the Town Hall Theater in New York City. Like I said, 17-member cast. There's going to be a celebrity announcer. They haven't announced who that's going to be. There's going to be original songs, live bands doing all this stuff. And this is in lieu of doing an actual Super Bowl commercial because the price, I think, is getting close to $1.5 million or something for a spot.
Oh, it's crazy.
So,
but I'm hearing it's almost sold out.
Yeah.
If not completely sold out right now.
So this is their Super Bowl ad that isn't an ad. And they're going to be selling tickets for $30 to $205. It's going to go to Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS. It's a nonprofit.
Well, that's
so it's
nice.
a charity. They're going to match ticket sales. So it's going to be a really nice thing they're doing.
Good.
And you're going to be able to see this through the brand's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. You're going to be able to watch it. Yeah. Now, last year, I didn't notice that they didn't have a commercial, but they did do something for the Super Bowl, which was actually kind of interesting to me. They did a 60-second ad that they showed to one person.
Okay.
And you were able to watch on the Facebook page that single person's reaction to the Super Bowl commercial that didn't air during the Super Bowl.
Was that successful? It must have been.
It must have been that they're doing this again.
I haven't heard of this. I mean, I didn't, Well, I was in Atlantic City, so I wasn't really looking at my Facebook page at the same time as the Super Bowl. So,
well, they're trying things differently, and it seems to be working because they're getting good response to keep doing it.
Yeah, good for them. It's like alternative programming. It's really good.
It's probably cheaper to do the Broadway show than it is to get that spot in the Super Bowl.
Exit 4.
Last but not least, the Vatican is getting into the sports business.
Okay.
They just announced they will be having a track team.
Track team.
The Vatican track team, and the it's an actual serious venture by them. They're going to have 60 members. Members range in age from 18 to 62, variety of professions within the Vatican. Some are, they have 1 nun, 3 to 4 members of the clergy, and the rest are going to be lay people. They work for Vatican radio, newspaper, fire departments, Vatican archives. They even have a couple Swiss Guard members doing the track team.
Can I say something about the Swiss Guard? They're an elite military organization, so those guys are in shape. So, they might make some noise in the track scene. So who knows?
Well, their first meet is coming up this week.
Okay,
and they're going to.
Who do they race against?
It's going to be all international events.
Okay.
Anytime you see an international track meet, you're going to see the Vatican team. Just look for the Royal Navy tracksuit with the colors of the Vatican flag, white and yellow, as accents.
Now, all these people have to be from Vatican City? Because Vatican City is pretty small.
Or work in Vatican City.
Oh, they have to work in the Vatican.
Yeah.
Either live or work in the Vatican.
Right.
Because I know the Vatican City doesn't have a huge population to draw upon.
They even have a milkman.
Okay.
Who works in the farm at Castel Gandolfo. It's a town north of Rome that's the Pope's summer residence.
Okay.
So they have his milkman running.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Ultimate goal is, God willing.
Yep. There you
go. To have the team in the Olympics at some point.
Hey, why not?
So we now have the Vatican
Look, Vatican City is an actual country.
Yeah.
The world's smallest country, so they should have the rights and privileges of other countries. And if they're good enough to be in the Olympics, they should be in the Olympics.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they work out. I mean, they still got to get approval from the Olympic Committee down the road, but they got to at least get some international meets under their belts.
How are you going to deny the Pope? Come on. He's such a nice guy. He's a leader of the Catholic faith. You're going to deny the Pope. Let him be in the Olympics.
Well, let him earn it.
Okay, let him earn it. Well, I just want to remind everyone that today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today, and now get $15 off your first order of $30 or more when using our promo code DRINK15 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. Just want to remind you, everyone, coming up is my interview with Luisa Woods, who is Vice President of Marketing for Delaware North Gaming Division. They're doing amazing things in West Virginia. They opened up 2 brick-and-mortar sports books, one at the Wheeling Island Casino in Wheeling, West Virginia, and the other one at the Mardi Gras Casino in Charleston. And they also, what's the verb again, Doug? Released West Virginia's first sports betting app called BetLucky.com. So Delaware North is doing amazing things in West Virginia.
And as always, to get in touch with us, you can call or text us at 609-512-6510. At Turnpike Sports is the way to reach us on Facebook or Twitter. Email us at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Don't forget to order your 2019 International Bikini Team calendar. info@internationalbikini-team.org is the email address to use for ordering information. And don't forget, you can catch Turnpike Sports now on your smart television via Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, courtesy of Binge Networks. The show is also distributed audio-wise, iTunes, iHeartMedia, which is also available through your Waze GPS system now, Stitcher Radio, YouTube, and if you want, go to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the podcast button to listen to the show and every other past show we've had. So Coming up next is Dave's interview with Luisa Woods from Delaware North.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from Turnpike Sports with this week's Bet Flash. New Jersey's Division of Gaming Enforcement is looking into the DraftKings National Sports Betting Contest held in New Jersey last week because of a very controversial ending. Some contestants are alleging that their bets on the first NFL game on Sunday were not processed fast enough, prohibiting them from placing bets on the second NFL game. Borgata Casino in Atlantic City has announced it is starting construction on its $11 million sportsbook. Borgata stated it plans to have the sportsbook integrated into what they're calling a destination bar. The casino plans a summer debut for the book. The Super Bowl is on CBS this year, but don't expect to hear announcers talking about sports betting. The network stated it's sticking to its season-long policy of not acknowledging the fact that betting is taking place. CBS is not ruling out a change in policy in the future, which is probably a smart move. From the seaside to the desert, from the betting lines to the sites online, Turnpike Sports has got you covered. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Turnpike Sports. Bright Tech offers unique no-dust lighting products that fit right into your home, no construction required. Elevated designs should be available to everyone, not just the folks with the big bank accounts. Trick out your living room, create your perfect reading nook. Whatever the situation, Bright Tech has a lighting solution for you. And now get 5% off of your entire order when using our promo code Radio5OFF at checkout. Head on over to BrightTechShop.com and start designing the life you want. Bright Tech, your bright life realized.
The action is just beginning to heat up at the 2019 Borgata Winter Poker Open, January 15th through February 1st. The East Coast Premier Poker Tournament includes over 40 heart-pounding events, leading up to the WPT Borgata Winter Poker Open Championship, featuring a $3 million guaranteed prize pool. Borgata Winter Poker Open, January 15th through February 1st. For complete tournament details, visit theborgata.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back, Turnpike Sports here. You know, sports betting has been the hot topic in the gambling world for months now, and the latest state to hop on the sports betting bandwagon is the great state of West Virginia. And I know sports betting is going to be amazing there because a great company is involved. Delaware North just opened up 2 brick-and-mortar sports books as well as the state's first online and mobile app for sports betting. And we're lucky to have Luisa Woods, who is Vice President of Marketing for Delaware North's gaming division, with us to tell us all about it. Luisa, thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be talking to you today.
Oh, the pleasure is ours. I can't wait to hear about West Virginia. First off, congratulations to Delaware North. It's a great company. It's doing great things in West Virginia. But for those who are not familiar with Delaware North, can you tell us a little bit about the company?
Absolutely. So Delaware North is an international hospitality conglomerate. We actually operate on 4 continents, and here in the United States, we have a substantial gaming and entertainment division. We have 12 gaming properties. I think we're up to operating in 7 states. We actually have 2 casinos in West Virginia, one Wheeling Island casino that we've had for many, many years, and Delaware North acquired Mardi Gras Casino and Resort back in March of this year.
You know,
the company's been around for something like 100 years. And in addition to gaming and entertainment, they're also in the sports services space, parks and resorts. So it's a highly diversified company.
It's done a lot of great work. I mean, you own TD Garden in Boston, right?
We do, and the Boston Bruins. That's correct.
Wow! So all you sports fans should love Delaware North up in the in Massachusetts. But like I said, sports betting has been a hot topic in the gambling world, and it's really exploding now. What did you see in the West Virginia market that Delaware North said, "Yeah, this is a great place for sports books and sports betting"?
Well, I think a lot of it was driven just by massive consumer demand. It was very interesting to us to see, from the moment that PASPA was overturned, the the citizens of West Virginia were tuned in and excited to be able to start participating in sports betting. We had people calling us, probably at least one customer every day from the time that West Virginia passed enabling legislation, asking us when we were going to open our books. So obviously, with that kind of consumer demand, it's a great sports consumers market. They're very into their football. They're very into supporting their local teams just across the border in Pittsburgh. So for us, having the presence that we do at 2 physical properties with an audience that was chomping at the bit to be able to get access to this product, it made all the sense in the world. We were also really anxious to be able to get live in the market, and this was a market that, kind of worked out conveniently that we had a substantial presence there, and they were really focused on being an early mover in the space. So essentially, we're surrounded by Ohio, Pennsylvania, and various other states that currently do not have live mobile sports betting. Mm-hmm. And so we, in addition to, audiences in West Virginia, we're seeing people crossing the border to come into West Virginia to be able to get their action. And, it's a great window of opportunity for us.
Delaware North came into West Virginia in a big way. I mean, you opened up 2 brick and mortar sports books, and you now have the state's first online and mobile sports betting app, and it's called betlucky.com. But mm-hmm. I want to start with the brick and mortar sports books. Like you said, one is located at the Wheeling Island Casino and Racetrack, mm-hmm. and the other one is at the Mardi Gras Casino in Charleston, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Well, where are they located in terms of the state? Are they close together, or do they cover the entire state, or where are they for people who aren't familiar with West Virginia?
Absolutely. So Wheeling Island is on what they call the northern panhandle. So it's a promontory that reaches up between Pennsylvania and Ohio. It is within about 60 miles of Pittsburgh on the one side, and just a few miles of Ohio on the other side.
Wow, what a great
location! The other
location.
property, Mardi Gras Casino, is down in Charleston, so it's closer to the southern borders of the state. So we do have pretty good coverage. They're probably about a 3-hour drive between the two of them. But the thing that we've seen with the mobile app that's really interesting is while there is some propensity for people in the north to choose Wheeling Island and for people in the south of the state to choose Mardi Gras, we're really seeing good coverage from both apps across the entire state. In terms of the physical books, mm-hmm. When you walk in, we designed the books to have really great sight lines from anywhere you are in the casino. So as you walk in, kind of the first thing you see is the giant screens that we've had installed. We wanted to create that real sense of arrival, of experience, and draw people in, because a lot of our focus is creating that entertainment experience that is really distinct from, sitting home in your living room and having access to the mobile app that you can just pull out of your pocket. We want to, have people consciously make the choice. Am I in the mood for convenience gaming? I want to sit home, have a beer and put my feet up on my couch and watch the game. Or do I want to go where there is a cheering crowd and energy and food and drink and everyone's having a great time and it's a party? Because as you know, you have appetites for different experiences at different times.
Talk to me about, what kind of amenities do you have for the sports bettor when they walk into the sports book at Wheeling or Mardi Gras? I mean, is it attached in the middle of the casinos, or is it separated? Tell us about the physical location of the sports book within the casinos.
Absolutely. So it's actually very open. The way that we designed both of the books, it's what I would call kind of a more modern design, in that it feels more like a sports bar than a traditional sports book with kind of carols and stadium style seating. It's designed to create a very social atmosphere. It's both of the books are, close to eating and drinking amenities. They're very open to the rest of the casino floor. So you could be, for instance, playing at table games or sitting at a slot machine and still be able to look across the casino floor and see the giant screens. You know, the intention certainly is to leverage those sight lines and the social atmosphere to draw people in to try this new product. In terms of how we've set up the retail configuration, we've limited the number of live betting windows because we're very much focused on having people install the app on their mobile devices. The majority of people nowadays are walking around with some kind of mobile device on their person most of the time.
Sure.
And rather than having people line up at a teller window in order to place their bets, you know, we have activation teams on the floor to assist them getting the app installed.
Oh, that's great.
Getting their account registered so that they can, you know, sit at their table in the sports book, enjoy a drink, and place their bets conveniently from where they're sitting.
Yeah, tell us more about the app, the betlucky.com, because I think you described me to a T. I'm from New Jersey, and I think there's nothing better than sitting on your couch watching TV and betting on the game. But I love going to the sports books, but sometimes, you know, living in the center of the state, the sports books in the north and the sports books in the south, and you know, sometimes you don't want to drive that far, but the sports betting app is so great. So tell us about the betlucky.com.
Absolutely. So we partnered with a company called MyOmni, who have been operating mobile sports apps here in the United States for 6 or 7 years. So they have deep experience with American audiences. And we worked with them focusing very much on tailoring the user experience to North American appetites. Obviously, there is a certain segment of the population that are very experienced sports bettors, but with the legalization of sports betting, there is a whole new audience out there who are excited to be able to place wagers but don't have a lot of experience reading the odds, understanding the lines, understanding the different basic or exotic bet types. So we created an interface that is very simple and intuitive and easy to use. We've streamlined what are pretty extensive registration and customer verification processes to make them very easy. For example, if you were to download the app, you can simply whip out your driver's license, point your phone at your driver's license, and it will pull all of the data off the barcode on your driver's license and pre-populate the registration form for you, so you don't have to be sitting there with your fat thumbs trying to type in something like 16 fields of required data. We've also focused at launch very much on what I would call blockbuster sports, so that the audience isn't kind of overwhelmed with choices. We want to focus them on, the big, most popular sports, and then we're adding to that inventory over time as we onboard customers and they get more familiar with the interface.
It's very interesting the way you're describing the sports betting in West Virginia. I mean, Delaware North, do they view brick-and-mortar sports books and online sports books as complements of one another or extensions of one another? I ask this because I talk to a lot of executives and companies, and they try and keep the online and the brick-and-mortar separate. They almost view them as different entities. How does Delaware North view them? It almost sounds like they fit so well together.
Well, I'm really glad you asked that question because that really is a core part of our philosophy. Ultimately, the way we approach the expansion into digital gaming is that we see this as creating an omni-channel customer experience. When you come to the property, if you're an existing remote gaming customer, we want you to be recognized and rewarded for choosing us as your sportsbook. We want to ensure that you feel that your custom is appreciated. We also want to create the convenience of allowing you to, flow easily back and forth between those two experiences that we just talked about. If you're gaming at home and through that process you've registered an account with us, we create an associated loyalty account for you and allow you to begin earning rewards as a Lucky North Club reward member through your remote and online play. So what that means is that you can be sitting home on your couch and earning tier status and earning rewards points that you can then travel to the property and benefit from. So we're very deliberate in trying to create as much integration between those two experiences as possible. Ultimately, we see this as a great way to introduce new audiences to the land-based properties as well as existing audiences to these new products and services.
Now, how can people get the BetLucky.com app on their phone or mobile device? You go to the the App Store, or how does one go and get the BetLucky.com?
So the easiest way is literally to go to www.betlucky.com. You can go to the Apple Store in order to download the iOS app. Google's policies currently do not allow any real money gaming apps in their store. Mm-hmm. But if you go to betlucky.com, the site will dynamically identify whether you're using an Android device or an Apple device and direct you to the right download link.
One of the great things about working in the casino industry is that there are new and interesting challenges with each casino and sportsbook. I know when sports betting first took place in New Jersey, Northern Jersey sportsbooks catered to the New York market, and the Atlantic City sportsbooks catered to the Philadelphia market. So sometimes odds and money lines were a bit different across the state. What are some of the challenges working in the West Virginia sports betting market?
Challenges working in the West Virginia sports betting market. I think that for Delaware North, this is a very new enterprise. You've got a state with somewhat limited population. And so I think one of the challenges when you've obviously got live traders managing all of our lines is the volatility of operating a sports book with relatively small audiences.
Is it also a challenge for Delaware North that there's no professional teams in West Virginia? I kind of think that's a great thing because, I think they're some of the smartest sports fans in the country. And, they will bet on teams that fans won't bet on. I'm an Eagles fan, and I will not bet against the Eagles, even though it's a smart bet. Right. But is that a challenge for Delaware North if there's no professional teams in a state?
I think so that certainly what we've found is that even though there are no professional teams within the state, there are very, very strong fan bases. Particularly, we see it around the Steelers, we see it around the Penguins. There's a very heavy support for nearby Pittsburgh teams, as well as some support for nearby Ohio teams. The other place that we see a lot of fan support is at the college level.
Now, I know the sportsbooks and the app have only been open for a short time, but what has been the reaction in West Virginia to the sportsbooks and the app?
The reaction has been extremely positive. I have to say, having been in the iGaming market for going on 2 decades now, this is the fastest kind of growth curve that I've seen in terms of people just rushing the door to get on board, to download the app, to get registered. Usually it's, a lot of work from the marketer to try and attract attention and to try and stimulate trial, whereas we've been in a situation where we've been holding audiences back for a couple of months who were, kind of rattling the door handles, waiting for us to open up. So it's been tremendous. Both the support that we've seen from patrons, the tremendous support that we've received from the West Virginia Lottery in getting this stood up, and from the gaming community.
Luisa, we're running out of time, but I'm definitely checking out the Delaware North properties in West Virginia and downloading the BetLucky.com app on my phone. I mean, not only is West Virginia an absolutely beautiful state, but now I think it has some of the premier sports books in the country at Wheeling Island Casino in Wheeling, West Virginia, and the Mardi Gras Casino in Charleston. And definitely the betting app that you're talking about, BetLucky.com, sounds absolutely amazing. And I think some great work from Delaware North.
Well, thank you very much for your time today. It's been fun talking about it.
Luisa Woods, Vice President of Marketing for Delaware North. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Hey, it's Dave from House of Cards. I'm sure everyone made some sort of New Year's resolution, whether it's to lose weight, work harder at the office, whatever. And we always seem to break them a few weeks into the year. Well, here's one resolution you need to make and keep. Getting a good night's sleep with MyPillow. Its patented interlocking fill adjusts to everyone and their sleeping habits. I use MyPillow all the time. I sleep great at night and wake up pain-free. And now there's a great new deal being offered by the folks at MyPillow. For a limited time, House of Cards listeners can receive a very special offer. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 4-pack special tab, and use promo code CARDS or call 1-800-319-7913 to take advantage of this 4-pack special. You'll get 50% off 2 MyPillow premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. MyPillow.com with promo code CARDS. That's promo code CARDS to take advantage of this 4-pack special. Better sleep starts with MyPillow.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And for your viewing pleasure, 6 free spicy movies on DVD, plus free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. So go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. Again, that's BABE16. Because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
We'll get right back to the show, but I want to take a minute to talk to you about Bean Genius. How would you like your coffee delivered right to your door every month, maybe 2 times a month? Well, now that can happen with Bean Genius. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country at beangenius.com. And Bean Genius actually learns their customers' individual taste preferences, then suggests future coffee blends for them. Well, how do they do that? Well, this is the cool thing about Bean Genius. Over at beangenius.com, they use an algorithm which learns the coffee flavors you like and then pairs up what you like with the coffee that they have in stock. And it's all based upon you. Every time you order, the system learns. The system learns your preferences as you go along and order more and more coffee. And now, all our listeners at Turnpike Sports can get a special offer. You head on over to beangenius.com/subscription, and you'll be able to get 10% off your purchase when you use our promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E, at checkout. That's 10% off at beangenius.com/subscription with promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. beangenius.com, the smart specialty coffee subscription service.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day.
No way.
I'll give you 3-to-1 odds.
No.
5-to-1.
No.
10-to-1.
You're on.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. Now it's our world-famous pick segment, which last week I did very well. 3-1. Doug, how'd you do?
I did so poorly, I do not want it to be world famous anymore.
Let me tell you how well I did. I won 3 out of my 4 games. I lost on the Chargers game. I thought the Chargers would show up a little more than they did. But I even won a prop bet when T.Y. Hilton scored a touchdown. So I did pretty well.
Well, I went straight underdog last weekend.
Well, that was a good move because the weekend before, all the underdogs won or covered.
it was actually kind of odd seeing 3 out of 4 home favorites, cover.
Yeah,
you know?
It was interesting.
And I wish the Colts offense had showed up because they didn't even bother going to Kansas City, and the Chargers didn't even bother getting off the bus in New England because wow,
that was awful.
That game was over in the first quarter.
Yeah, no, that was pretty bad. That was the game I lost. So it was.
I lost pretty much everything. The Eagles saved my butt.
Oh yeah, boy, the Eagles! I was surprised. Yeah, I thought they'd keep it close because it's a different team. With now, I'm assuming that was Nick Foles' last game as an Eagle. So
well, from what I'm
pretty emotional.
What I'm understanding is they may exercise the $20 million option on him
and then trade.
And then try and work out a trade.
Yeah,
because Foles has a $2 million buyout. He's probably got the check already ready to be signed. So
yeah, but I don't think he's going to sign it. So
well, no, he'll probably buy out the contract. Well, if they franchise him, he's got to do it.
Well, we'll see. So who knows? That situation's up in the air. So well, you ready for the picks?
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to remind everyone that this Pro Pick segment is sponsored by Bright Tech. Bright Tech offers unique no-dust lighting products that fit right into your home, no construction required. Elevated design should be available to everyone, not just the folks with the big bank accounts. Trick out your living room, create your perfect reading nook. Whatever the situation, Bright Tech has a lighting solution for you. And now get 5% off your entire order when using our promo code Radio5OFF at checkout. Head on over to BrightTechShop.com and start designing the life you want. Bright Tech, your bright life realized.
And as always, our picks are going to be put up on the Turnpike Sports Radio blog. Just head on over to TurnpikeSportsRadio.com, click on the blog button, and the picks will be up on the blog about an hour after the show is released tomorrow. See, app released.
Yep,
there you go.
Released app. Okay, yeah. I gotta connect those two words.
There you go. You know what? We got 2 games. Los Angeles Rams at New Orleans Saints and New England Patriots at Kansas City Chiefs. There's no surprise here. I think we both went with the same ones.
I don't know. We don't talk about our picks before, so we want to keep this discussion lively. So
I can guarantee you, Saints, Chargers. Saints Chiefs.
Saints Chiefs. Yeah, I went with Saints Chiefs. Okay.
Yeah. So
we'll
do the first one. Yeah. Which one you want to hit first?
Los Angeles Rams. You want me to do mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
New Orleans is a 3.5-point favorite with an over/under of 57. You know, when you say this is one of those games where defense wins championships. The Saints defense is 14th overall, and they're second against the run, and the Rams defense is 19th overall. And with the Rams missing Cooper Kupp, I think him being gone is a big deal. The Saint who's going to have a big week like he had last week is Michael Thomas. I mean, keep in mind, there was a Week 9 matchup between these two teams, and Thomas had 12 catches for 211 yards. I mean, that's just amazing, and I see no sign of him slowing down, judging by what he did against the Eagles. So I think Drew Brees is going to have a big day because he has the crowd behind him. So I'm going with the New Orleans Saints.
If I hear that name one more time, Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp.
Every fantasy sports guy throughout the year throws that name out.
Well, he's been fantasy's darling.
I know.
Mean, he's just...
well...
Too bad he got hurt. He cost a lot of people a lot of money.
I have to admit, watching last week's games, the Rams surprised me because I did not expect C.J. Anderson to have a 100-yard game against the Cowboys. I didn't expect C.J. Anderson to really play too much.
Cowboys have a great defense, and the Rams really impressed me with their running game.
2 100-yard rushers, Gurley and Anderson. But
I mean, I don't know if the Rams had a good running day or the Dallas had a bad defensive day, but it was.
I think it was a little bit of both. But quite honestly, I think what I was impressed with the most with these two teams was the way the Saints played defense in the Dome.
Oh yeah, no, I think
I was so impressed with that defense. And both teams have offenses that could go toe to toe. It could be one of those shootout kind of games, but. Honestly, with the way the Saints play in the Dome, that defense is going to make the difference. If that defense shows up, I don't see a high-scoring game even.
Look, when the Eagles played there last week, that Dome was loud, and I think it'll be louder.
What was the final score of the Eagles-Saints game?
It was within 8. What was it? I forgot what it was.
Was it like 23-16 or 20-16 or something like that?
Yep.
So and honestly, I think that 57. If that Saints defense shows up, that's too much. I think they're going to be under, and I'm going to go with the Saints.
Yep, I think it was 20-14.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. If that defense is there, that's going to be the difference maker. Because I saw the Rams having trouble finishing games at the end of the year, And other than the Dallas Cowboy game that they had in the playoffs there, I really didn't see a strong team at the end of the year.
Well, I kind of figured they would turn it around, like I said last week, and boy, did they ever.
Yep. All right, the other game, New England Patriots at Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are a 3-point favorite, over under 55.5. What can you say about the Patriots? I mean, they're always there.
Yep.
And the Chargers don't seem to show up in the wintertime, especially in Foxborough, and they took advantage of that. I was expecting last week with the Kansas City Chiefs-Colts game for the Colts offense to show up too. But what was impressive about the Chiefs was that defense as well. The defense at home is a much different animal than the defense on the road.
Sure.
And this year, the Patriots on the road are a different animal than the Patriots at home.
Yeah,
I think
they're a
they're 3 and
different
5. They're 3 and 5.
They're
on
a
the
different
road.
team.
And I think if you see another defensive effort like Bob Sutton put together for the Chiefs defense from last week, if you see it again this weekend, I think that's going to be a major problem for the Patriots, and that's why I'm going with the Chiefs. They had that shootout in Foxborough, and the Patriots barely won that, and that was at Foxborough.
Yeah.
They're not playing in Foxborough now.
No.
You're talking probably one of the coldest games ever in Kansas City for this weekend's game. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I love this stat that I'm going to throw out there. And look, Bill Belichick is a defensive genius, and in his career, only 7 teams have scored 40 or more points against his teams. However, 3 of those teams were the Kansas City Chiefs, coached by Andy Reid. The last 2 games at Arrowhead, the Chiefs have only given up 9 points total, and I think this shows how tough a place Arrowhead is to play. Plus, you got the weather, and I know that's New England's loving that kind of weather because it's New England weather, but
they only love that weather when they're in Foxborough.
But still, I think Arrowhead will be crazy. I think it will be disruptive to the Patriots. You're going to see some them jumping offside a couple times, and I love the Kansas City Chiefs at home.
All righty. Well, those are the picks for the championship games. Again, both of us went Chiefs and Saints. And these picks will be up on the Turnpike Sports blog after this show is published, released, however you want to phrase it. And,
no, an app is released. I just found out.
So check it out after you hear the show. Feel free to reach out to us on the blog. You can leave a comment there. You can also reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter at Turnpike Sports. And you can email us at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Don't forget to watch the show on Smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and subscribe to us on iTunes and also iHeartMedia.
And I just want to remind everyone that this week's Pro Pick segment is sponsored by Brightech. Brightech offers unique no-dust lighting products that fit right into your home, no construction required. Elevate design should be available to everyone, not just the folks with the big bank accounts. Trick out your living room, create your perfect reading nook. Whatever the situation, Brightech has a lighting solution for you. And now get 5% off of your entire order when using our promo code RADIO5OFF at checkout. Head on over to BrightTechShop.com and start designing the life you want. Brightech, your bright life realized.
All right, that'll do it for us this week on Turnpike.
And a special thanks to Luisa Woods, who was the Vice President of Marketing for Delaware North Gaming Division. They're doing amazing things in West Virginia. They just opened up 2 brick-and-mortar sportsbooks, one at the Wheeling Island Casino and Racetrack, and the other at Mardi Gras Casino Resort in Charleston. And they also released the West Virginia's first sports betting app called BetLucky.com. So you got to check them out. They're doing amazing things.
BetLucky, something I did not do last weekend.
Yes. Well, hey, enjoy the
championship
games. It should be a blast.
Cheer on the Vatican track team.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing. Well, enjoy the weekend, everyone. See you next time on the Turnpike.